Hey, welcome to day 6. So yesterday, in yesterday's video, I alluded to how strong muscles are flexible muscles. And as you're focusing on getting stronger, we want to stay balanced in our body when we learn to practice yoga. So we're going to focus on some deeper stretches in today's video. And the health of a muscle is not just its ability to be contracted like this, but also its ability to lengthen all the way, to release. So I want my muscle to be able to contract all the way. For it to be able to contract all the way, it has to be able to release all the way. If one's not happening, the other isn't going to happen. It's a beautiful metaphor for life. There's to be giving and receiving. All right, so you can trip on that if you want to. But today we're going to focus on opening ourselves up all the way, so that we can engage all the way. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, today let's get the core work out of the way at the beginning. So lie down onto your back. And with your hips heavy onto the floor, I'm gonna lift my shirt a little bit so you can see the lower back. We're just going to let the lower back be in its neutral curve. Let the chest open. Take a few conscious breaths here. All right, now wiggle your feet together. And we're just going to start by abducting the thighs. So as you inhale, let the knees go wide apart. And as you exhale, bring your knees back together. Just real simple. Inhale, let the knees go wide apart. Let your groin start to spread. And as you exhale, bring the knees together. Inhale, knees go wide apart. Exhale, knees come together. Now take your feet hip distance apart. And as you inhale, arch your lower back, curve the lower back, exaggerate the curve of the lower back, stretch the tailbone, let the pubic bone reach away from you down, and then as you exhale, flatten out your lower back. Tuck the buttock under, buttocks towards the backs of the knees. Inhale to arch your lower back. So again, I've shown you the crop top variation so you can see what's happening. Don't worry, it's not going to stay like this the whole video. And as you exhale, start to flatten your lower back. Inhale, arch through your lower back. Also, the voice has to be very meditative for this part. Exhale, flatten through your lower back. Okay, you got that down. Now bring your lower back into neutral. So when we do this core work where the head's down, we're going to hold this neutral lower back. You're not allowed to lose it, deal? Bring your left leg up into tabletop without losing your neutral lower back. Send your left leg forward and slowly lower it so it's an inch above the floor. Oh, but you got to squeeze your abs in more so that your lower back doesn't lift or twist. Then bring your leg back up, set it down. Stretch your right leg forward and slowly lower it. Keep your core engaged and back up. Let's add some arms. Take the arms straight up. Send your left leg up, forward, and left arm back as the left leg reaches out. But you got to squeeze your abs in. And back up. Change sides without the abs wiggling. Slowly stretch the right leg. Right arm, lengthen, but keep your abs in. And back up. Good, now bring both knees up. Ooh, I got to squeeze my core so that my pelvis doesn't move. Pretend like I put quarters on each one of your hip bones. Your hip bones aren't allowed to twist or wiggle, otherwise the quarters will fall off. Now slowly send the right leg forward. Don't let the quarters wiggle off. Send your left arm back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, change sides. 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 Inhale, back up. Now crunch up to your knees. Tuck yourself up into a little ball. Inhale, reach out, but keep your abs crunched in. Exhale, tuck up. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, crunch 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 up and hold. Send your right leg forward, tuck your abs in. Send your left leg out to meet it. Hold, hold, crunch your abs. Crunch up 1 more inch. And lower yourself down. Take your feet the width of the mat and let's just windshield wiper the knees. Right knee to the left foot. Slide your right arm over. Back to center. Left knee to the right foot. Slide your left arm over. This is also nice for your shoulder blades. Helps to mobilize them. Back to center. Change sides. Exhale to center. Inhale, change sides. Exhale to center. All right, good. Hug your knees in. All warmed up with the core. Come onto your hands and your knees. And stretch into child's pose. Downward dog, come on up. Plank pose. Set your knees down, lie on your belly, and stretch your arms all the way forward. Press the tops of the feet down, lift your knees. Now make yourself as long as you can as you squeeze the backs of your legs and lift your legs up an inch. Bring your hands back next to your waist. Roll your chest open, plug your blades on your back like we've been practicing. Good, then lower your chest, knees down. Press up onto your hands and your knees and stretch back to dog. Walk your feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Reach down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale your arms to your side. Step to the top of your mat. Hands at your sides, stand tall. Find your mountain pose line. So stand tall, balance with your weight over your arches. Shoulders back, chest open. Inhale, spread the arms to the side, externally rotate and reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, reach your chest through. Make a flat back. Step back into plank pose, 1 leg at a time. All right, chaturanga practice. Today we're doing 3. Set the knees down, chest open, abs tight, neutral spine, the same spine that was on the floor at the beginning of class. Lower slowly and press back up. That's 1. Lower slowly, press back up. That's 2. Lower slowly, press back up. That's 3. Stretch back to down dog. All right, from down dog, walk your feet all the way forward. Let your head drop. Then place your hands onto your hips and come all the way up to stand. Rickshaw Sentry pose. Place your right heel up onto the inside of your left thigh. Interlock your fingers so the right index finger is on top. Turn your palms inside out and reach your arms up. So your inner shoulder plugs down as you reach up through the hands. Navel draws in. Reach up through the thumb index finger side of your hands. Then bring your arms back down. Change sides. Bring your left heel up to the inside of your right leg. Interlock your fingers, left index finger on top, turn your palms, and reach your arms up. All right, so in addition to the standing poses becoming more challenging throughout the 30 days, the holds will also become longer. I hope you have enough time to do yoga for this long. Grow tall, up through the midline, not lean right or left, forward or back, nice and balanced. Bring your arms back down and release your leg. All right, triangle pose. Separate your legs wide apart. Spread your arms. Turn and reach out over your right leg. 5 breaths. So you got the foundations down, hopefully. Just to reemphasize, if I look down at my right leg, my center ankle, center knee, and center hip are all aligned. I pin the right hip in. I stretch the back heel as if I'm pushing against the wall, and then I lengthen out through the line of my right inner foot, through the midline. The chest is open. I take the top arm up. To come back up, I push through my feet, pull with the top arm, turn the legs to the other side. Look at your left leg, turn the thigh out so the leg is all lined up. Tip from your hips to put your hand down. Then elongate your spine, take your top arm up. Press into your back outer heel. Reach into your feet, come back up to stand, pull with your top arm, feet parallel. Extended side angle. The right leg turns out, same joint alignment, back foot angled in, bend your knee and put your hand down. Instead of letting your butt swing out, which knocks you forward, squeeze your right butt in, stretch your back leg, then take your top arm overhead. If you don't have blocks, today I'm showing the no blocks modification. I just hold my leg. You could do that too. Or if you have the flexibility to, fingertips on the floor, but don't let your chest collapse. Chest should be open. Inhale, come back up. Turn your legs to the other side. Bend your knee, put your hand down, take your top arm overhead. And then come back up, parallel your feet, step your legs together. Stand tall in mountain. Warrior 1. Separate your feet, turn to face your right leg, back foot angles in, inhale your arms up, bend your right knee. All right, so today I'm gonna add the preparation for Warrior 3. Yesterday we learned to balance on one foot, we learned Ardha Chandrasana. Today we're gonna lean out over the right knee and reach through your fingers. So I'm trying to create a long line from the back ankle to the fingers, a Tadasana line, through the back leg, through the arms. I pin this right hip in so I can steer my chest straight ahead. Good, then arms down, press into your feet, come up, turn your legs to the other side. The back heel presses down. I'm tall, straight up through the line of the ankles. Raise the arms, bend your knee. Keep stretching your back leg. Now lean your chest right out over your knee. Stretch through the back leg, reach past your fingers, firm arms, back of the neck broad. Like how we learned on the belly at the beginning of class. Same idea. The navel is up, the heart reaches forward, nice and long. Then drop the arms, come back up, parallel your feet. Let's go right into half moon now. So I turn my legs, I bend the knee, put the hand down in front of the pinky toe, wiggle the back foot in, then step up. I make sure that I'm pressing the right foot evenly from the foot day, which was on a 4th day. I lift up to the arches of the foot and push to the heel. Then I can stretch that leg up higher as I firm my right hip in. So I'm using my leg muscles properly. I reach down into the right hand, turn the chest, breathe. Then bend the knee, step into triangle pose. Now let me see your deepest expression of triangle. You should be more warmed up. Maybe you can put the hand on the floor. Reach into your feet, come back up to stand, and turn the feet to the other side. Spread your arms. Bend your knee and put your hand down. Top hand on your hip. Wiggle the back foot in and step up. All right, so focus on your standing leg. That's your foundation. Lift through the inner and outer arches of the foot. Pull up into the hip socket. Pin that left butt in over your ankle. Then you can open and stretch the back leg more. Reach your heart away from your hips. And once you're steady, take the top arm up. Then bend your knee, big step back into triangle. Your longest, deepest expression of triangle right after half moon. Press into your feet, come back up, parallel your feet, and bring your legs together. Mountain pose. Parsvottanasana. Separate your feet wide apart. Turn your legs to the right and angle your back foot in a little more than halfway. All right, so this is the front of the hip crease. As you start to tip forward, the hip crease should release back. I'm putting my hands on my shin, but I don't want you to push the shin down, so you can use blocks. Let me show. You can use blocks underneath the hands to help get that hip crease movement. So before I can let my spine round evenly over the leg, I have to be able to lengthen. So I want to be able to lengthen the front of the spine and draw the hip crease back. The better I get at this, the better I'll get at rounding. But also the better I get at rounding, the better I'll get at this. Again, the metaphor for life, one thing helps the other. Okay, so as you press into the feet, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen to the front of the spine. The navel draws in. Then I let myself start to round out over the leg. I abandon the blocks. I let the head drop. From above your right knee, you're pulling up. Ooh, so much so you see those muscles start to turn on above the knee. And you deepen the right hip crease back. The head drops down. The whole back of the spine lengthens evenly. To come back up, I put my hands on the blocks or fingertips on the floor. All right, then I'm going to bend the knee and step the other leg forward. Change sides. All right, so now the left foot is forward. I'm up on the blocks to give myself the chance to lengthen the spine. If you don't have blocks, you can use a chair or something, but I recommend investing in this. You're going to use them for a lifetime. Stretch into your feet evenly. Pull from above your hip. Deepen the left hip crease, reach your heart forward. Get as much length and lift from above the left knee as you can. And then keeping that deepening of the hip crease, put the hands down and start to lengthen the back of the spine out over the leg. and come back up on your blocks. All right, so this question often gets asked, and I just want to address it. I'm a stiff person, and my leg won't straighten like that, and I look like this. So it's more important to me that the hip crease draws back, and the movement comes from the pelvis. So if you're not able to straighten the leg all the way, or if you do, it makes your back pop up, then I'd recommend keeping a little bend in the knee and work on moving your pelvis. Instead of the pelvis pulling this way, you're gonna lift through the back of the pelvis to the buttocks to take you over the leg. Hope that helps. Okay, if you have any more questions, you can post a question in the comments. Step the back foot forward. Now, with the feet together, or the feet hip socket distance apart, I'm gonna put my hands right next to my feet on the blocks and let the head drop. And then I find like, they're kind of getting in my way. So let me see if I can, well, they're still kind of getting my feet. I could go a little bit deeper. Okay, that's about, for my wrists and my hamstrings, it's about as deep as I could go with the fingertips next to the toes. The belly draws in, the head drops down. You might be able to put your hands flat next to your feet. Five more breaths. Open up through the backs of the knees, lean the hips over the heels, inner and outer arches are open. You don't have to yank them up, but make sure that they're not twisting to the floor. All right, then inhale, flat back. Grab a hold of your big toes, reach your heart forward. As the navel moves in, bend the elbows out to the side. And then inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands onto the hips. Hamstring experience. Come on up to stand. So if it bugs your back or something, do those deep forward bends. I introduced them pretty quick. You can also do them with the knees bent and just work on that pelvis action. All right. So now to undo some of that strain that might have come from those poses, let's sit in hero's pose. My knees, I have an inch in between my knees, and my feet are wide enough for my buttocks to fit in between the toes, point straight back, and I'm gonna sit on this taller block. If it's too much for you to sit like this, you can just sit with your legs crossed if you have a knee issue and it pains the knee, or you got some like screws in your ankles or something. Sit up tall, chest open, and then twist to your right. Come back to center and twist to your left. Come back to center, and let's do the preparation for headstand. All right, so today, to help to teach the external rotation of the arms, I'm gonna slide my fingers around the block like this, and I'm gonna make sure that my inner shoulder stays turned to the outer shoulder, instead of my shoulder rolling in like this. I turn the inner shoulder to the outer shoulder. I broaden my collarbones to create space for the back of the neck. All right, with the fingers wrapping towards each other, I press the forearms and the block down, and then I curl my toes, I lift my belly into the front of the spine, and then I come up. The inner forearms reach towards the block. The outer shoulders spin back. My navel draws into the spine as I exhale, and then I lift my hips up. Then I let normal breathing happen.
So I don't keep my abs crunched the whole time. But to help me mobilize, I use that navel action that's called Uddiyana Bandha. So we can use the bandha to help to create more movement, but then we want the breath to move nice and even. All right, then set your knees down, stretch back into child's pose. Swing your legs around. Stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Bend your right knee off to the side, like the tree pose leg. Sit up straight and tall. Angle yourself towards your left foot, and then see if you can tip yourself and grab a hold of your foot. If you can't, you can just grab a hold of your shin. Then, what I'd like to see is that you can make that flat back like we did on the blocks. So as the sit bones stretch straight down to the floor, your navel draws up, and you try to make a flat back. And let me see if we could hold that for 5 breaths. Back up. Change sides. Bend the left knee off to the side, heel in towards you. Sit up tall. Tip yourself towards the leg. Grab a hold, shin or strap or shirt or whatever over the foot. Angle the sit bones, aim them straight down, and actively reach the front of the sit bone down more to help tip you forward. Then draw, lift through the pelvic floor. Let the navel release into the spine and up. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Grow tall through your spine. Neck free, neck tall. And then come back up. Both legs forward. Navel draws in as you lengthen out over your legs. Come back up and lie down on your back, horse pose. Adjust the back of the head, the shoulder blades, and the buttocks so you're nice and neutral and even, and stretch the legs out. All right, so this is our second day of practicing pranayama in Shavasana, in horse pose. So once you let the body drop and everything start to relax, begin to watch your breath. All right, now today, instead of just observing, we're going to practice for a minute lengthening the breath. So as you watch your breath, instead of trying to suck more air in, watch and observe the lungs. Imagine you could watch the bottom of the lungs closer to the belly spread and open. Then the middle of the lungs spread and open to make more space for air. Then the top of the lungs spread and open without any strain, more air coming into the lungs. And as you exhale, let all the air leave nice and smooth and steady. You shouldn't let the nerves get keyed up. You should stay just as relaxed. So just start to watch these slower, smoother breaths. And instead of trying to yank air in, just observe more space. Observe yourself or imagine yourself opening up more for more room for the breath to move in and out. relax the space open. All right, now no more deep breathing. Just relax completely. Bend your knees. Roll over to your right side and press yourself up. All right, so sit up tall, bring your palms together with your eyes closed. Just notice if after doing that expansion work with the breath, how different it feels energetically. Just notice any shift. So as we practice yoga and we start to do different things, we just want to notice what's the effect, what is happening. We're practicing becoming more conscious. All right, thank you. Namaste.